Welcome to my channel. This is your brother, ekfrimpongtheteacher, the teacher. And today on dating, we are discussing what is courtship, what is dating, or what is courtship and dating. You see, courtship is the period between accepting a proposal to date and the final period of accepting to marry. Now, the first period is where we propose, or I propose to you, and you agree that yes, you also love me and we should go on and date. Then the final period is when I come to you and say, okay, after dating you for this period of time, I think I want to marry you. Will you marry me? Then you say yes. So the period in between when I propose to date you to when I propose to marry you is what we call the courtship period or the dating period. So it is that same period we call dating. The only difference between courtship and dating is that in dating, it may not be focused towards marriage. Therefore, we are just in having fun, doing all kinds of things, just there with no aim or plan at the beginning to get married. So in the dating relationship, we may start not with the purpose of getting married. We are just in there having fun, loving each other, helping each other till we get of age, or we get to a point where we think that we want to marry. Then we start courtship in between the dating, and we get to the stage where we propose marriage. But with courtship, it starts with the mind set on marriage. So the courtship starts with the mind set on marriage. So we court or we date focusing on whether we are meant for each other, whether we are compatible, whether we can marry till death do us part, whether we are okay with each other, and whether we bond that well such that we can marry in the future. Dating, we start with the mindset of I love you, you love me, let's hang out. Then we hang out, we do all kinds of things, we go out together, we go drinking, eating kebabs and all that. Then as we grow, we become used to each other, then we now begin to think of, I think we should think of marriage then. So with dating, or with our current form of dating, that's what we do. So it comes in between. Courtship is said to be old-fashioned, or it's an old system, but I don't believe it's past. I don't believe it's an old system, so it should be thrown away. It is a very good system that I want us to concentrate on than dating. Dating for nothing. Just being there in a relationship will cause a future, especially when the two of you don't end up together. With courtship, because we know we are thinking of dating for a period of time and assess ourselves whether we are okay for each other and can marry in the future, it starts on a serious note. So with courtship, you start marking all that is necessary to be marked, which we'll be going through in this series called dating. So with courtship, you start with your mind set on marriage. You are looking at a gentleman or you are looking at a lady with the eye of whether she or he is suitable to be your wife or husband, whether he or she is suitable to be the mother of your children, whether he or she will be capable of keeping your home in order, whether he is good enough to be the head of the family, whether she is good enough to be the neck of the family, whether the two of you are that much compatible to live together till death do us part. The reason why I love and I'm in love with courtship is that with courtship, we are doing everything with our eyes set on marriage. So because we are observing each other, marking our lines, checking whether this friendship will work, checking whether conversation and communication between us is perfect, checking whether we are friends and that we mingle and laugh most of the time, understanding each other's emotions, being there for each other in time of need, knowing when and where our ability to read our partner's moods. These are all done at the courtship, and because we are courting and we are looking at all these things, we become alert, and therefore we are able to take that final decision whether we are meant for each other. But with dating, we start having fun before we realize we are having sex. We enjoy the sex, we ignore the elements that we need to search for and watch out for. We do all kinds of abortions. We are in there just having fun and enjoying each other till then we get to a stage where we think we want to marry. Then because we have been together for 4 or 5 years, we think it's okay, we can marry. Then we marry, then the marriage doesn't work. So in dating, the marriage will not work. Because when you just date for nothing, and all of a sudden you realize that we have come of age, then we should marry, and you agree to marry, if there is a slim chance of that marriage surviving in the future because you did not court your variables. You did not check your conversation. You didn't mark out the red lines. As I was saying, you did not mark out the red lines, the weaknesses, the strength, temperaments, love language. You did not check those things. You were just having fun. So courtship is better. With courtship, we are checking the weaknesses, we are looking at the strength, we are looking at those things that we can change about our partner, we are looking at those things that we can't change, whether we can live with, whether we cannot live with. We understand each other to the point that we know what pisses the other off, we know which conversations the other person is not interested in. We are able to read the moods. So in courtship, we are actually assessing whether the two of us are compatible enough for the future. People who do courtship or people who court are assured of an 80% chance of their marriage surviving. But those who just do their normal dating, never court, and end up in marriage has only about 30% chance of their marriage surviving till death do them part. Because I have told you on this channel that when you tell a man to choose a wife, it is more difficult than when you tell a man to choose a girlfriend. When you tell a man to choose a girlfriend, on a 1 mile stretch, he may be able to select about 20 women he wants to date. But when you tell the same man to choose a wife in a 1 mile stretch, it will take him the whole day and weeks without him not being able to pick one person. So when we start with the mindset of we are doing this so that we marry in the future, the man's thinking changes. His way of viewing you changes. He now assesses whether you are good enough to be the mother of her children, whether you are good enough to be a wife. Can you contain him? Can you help him? Can you help him in his weaknesses? Are you a good helper? Are you a good support for him? And will he be able to be the Lord in your house? He now begins to think differently. My brothers and sisters, this is dating, and we are discussing what is dating or courtship. And I hope you have now come to understand why it is important that we do courtship than dating. How we are dating of late will lead us nowhere. It will lead us nowhere. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying on. This is your brother ekfrimpong, and you're on KOKMinistries, Kingdom of Knowledge Ministries, and we are happy to have you as part of the family. Share the videos to those who need it. Share it to those who need it. And also invite more people to join the family. Thank you for watching. See you same time next week. Ciao.